Hello? Oh. If everybody would take their seats, we'd like to get started. If everybody would kindly take their seats, we'd like to get started. Thank you. One without the glasses. Yeah. It's what my wife likes. I don't know how to look. Do I look old?
Yeah, you look smart. This,
Wow, I like that.
think about this. If you're old, what am I?
You're my high school photography teacher. I got to clean my glasses. Okay, one more minute to find your seats, and then we're going to get started. 1 minute. Okay, everybody, please take your seats. Come on, everybody, let's go. We're committed to get you home by 8:45 tonight if we're all pay attention and behave. Marcy, we ready? Marcy's ready. Brian, you ready? Donna? All right, I'm going to start. Good evening. Good evening. My name is Jeffrey Gottlieb, and I have the honor of chairing the 64th annual celebration Under the Stars, my first speech in the dark. Well, possibly not true, but okay. I would like to personally thank our sponsor, South Jersey Industries, this evening. Thank you. I'd also like to welcome the following dignitaries and officials who are joining us tonight. Please rise when I mention your name, and let's hold applause until the end. First, our Rabbi Aaron Krupnick, Congregation Bethel, and Rabbi Nathan Weiner, JCC board member, Temple Adith Emmanuel, and the president of the Tri-County Board of Rabbis. Rabbi Brian Wexler from Temple Beth Shalom. Our agency officers and presidents. First, Harry Platt, President, Jewish Federation of Southern New Jersey. Our agency executive directors, Jewish Federation Chief Executive Officer Jen Weiss. Jewish Federation of Southern New Jersey Chief Financial Officer, it says Andy Clayman, but I know better than that. It's Amy Clayman. Jewish Family and Children's Services Executive Director Marla Myers. Voice Publications Executive Director David Portnow. JCC Assistant Directors Brian Adler, Mitch Medoff, and Beth Siegel. Federation Chief Operating Officer Rob Kiwi. Federation Chief Advancement and Community Relations Officer David Snyder. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. And actually, one more I'll mention. I believe that Les Cohen, the former JCC executive director, is here, and it's really nice to see him. Who is after me? Rabbi Krepnik. Here he comes.
Thank you. Here we go. You're a little taller than I am in your night speeches, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you all for being here on what is the eve of Rosh Chodesh. Tomorrow night we start a new Hebrew month, the new Hebrew month of Cheshvan. It's called actually Mar Cheshvan in the beginning. A few days, which means the bitter Cheshvan, because it's void of Jewish holidays. And I don't know, but whoever planned the Jewish calendar should not be like a program director. Because the only thing that would make it worse would be if if Pesach started next Wednesday. And then everything would all be clumped into 6 weeks. And then you'd go for these vast spaces without Jewish holidays like we're doing in Cheshvan. But I would like to suggest that the Torah, I better suggest that the Torah knew what it was doing. Otherwise, our boss will get really mad at me. The Torah knows what it's doing when it juxtaposes the most inward of Jewish holidays, which is Yom Kippur, with the most outward of Jewish holidays, which is Sukkot, which then culminates on the 8th day with the most extreme outward Jewish holiday, which is Simchas Torah, where everybody comes together and dances with the Torah. And Simchas Torah is just one of those holidays you cannot do by yourself. It's doing a hakafah in your living room. I mean, you can do a lot of these other services for the high holidays, those of you who Zoomed and watched from your home. But my guess is Simchas Torah is a little harder because it really is this outward holiday. And what I think Jewish tradition was trying to teach us by taking this most inward holiday and then taking the most outward holiday and putting them 5 days apart was that if you do it right, the internal that you understand at a deeper level through the process of Yom Kippur can take flight, take on meaning, and make a real difference in the world 5 days later when you use whatever you have newly discovered or refined for the good of other people. That if you're carrying it with you and yourself, you're only halfway there. That our Creator wants us to share the good that's inside of us with other people because we not only help them through that process, we become better people ourselves through giving to others. And that's the only logical explanation for the people, the majority of the people who are sitting here who devote so much of their lives to Jewish communal service and creating the JCC. There's no other logical explanation because it is, as a good friend said to me recently, a thankless job, but it's not a thankless job because A, you get nights like this where we say thank you, but more importantly, you know the reward that comes from inside that helps you to self-actualize in a way that Yom Kippur could never accomplish because of that connection with other people. And, you know, you picked, for those of you who this year are being honored and who are stepping up or continuing on in vice presidential positions, this was a really tough year. This was like probably the hardest year any of us have ever gone through in terms of pivot. And I'm sure Odette is like, yeah, I'll become the head of the JCC. How hard could it be? You know, but yet, this has been an incredibly difficult year that we have been able to not only survive, but to thrive through, because the people who are being honored here tonight and recognized here tonight understand what it feels like to create community. And I can't help but draw the connection between the interior holiday and the exterior holiday, Marcy, without thinking of you, and the beauty of interior, not just interior decorating, but the interior of your neshama, of your soul, that comes through in your leadership here, which is why people follow you, and you've been able to motivate people during these challenging times when people couldn't necessarily see each other face to face, just have the feeling of what's in your heart and wanting to join you in that process. And that's really what it's all about. That's what Jewish community is ultimately all about. It's finding something special inside of you that you would not have known existed if you didn't channel it to other people. And so each and every one of our honorees and everyone who is serving in office, coming into office, deserves not only a round of applause, but truly our heartfelt thanks. But inside, they're not doing it for the applause. They're doing it because there's something sacred that they've discovered inside themselves. So mazel tov to all, and have a good night.
Good evening. Thank you, Rabbi Kropnik, for the beautiful Dvar Torah. Tonight, we honor and recognize many of our finest board, community, and professional leaders. So many people work together to help create and support the many important services that our JCC provide. Sharon, where are you? Sharon Gantz, where are you? Please stand. Sharon, today you're celebrating an incredible milestone, 35 years at the Katz Jcc. Congratulations. Today also marked my 6 months anniversary here at the J. I reflect back to my conversation with immediate past president Jeff Resnick, who was charged with leading the search committee for the JCC new executive director. While I was finalist in many other positions in the Delaware Valley, after my first interview with Jeff and the committee via Zoom, I called Jeff and I commented that this is my dream job. And if there was a slightest chance that I could be chosen, I stopped my job search. And here I am, 6 months later, in my dream position as the executive director of the Katz Jcc. Where we positively affect the lives of individuals every single day. As many of you may know, my family and I moved here from North Carolina. There's an old story that I heard in North Carolina that I would like to share with you tonight. It was a carpenter who was hired to help a man restore an old farmhouse. He had just finished his first day on the job, and everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. First of all, on his way to work, he had a flat tire that cost him hours worth of pay. Then his electric stove broke, and after work, his old pickup truck refused to start. His new boss volunteered to give him a lift home, and the whole way to his house, the carpenter sat in stone silence as he stared out of the window. Yet, on arriving home, he invited his boss for a few minutes to meet his family. As they walked towards the front door, he paused briefly at a small tree, touching the tips of the branches with both hands. When he opened the door, he underwent an amazing transformation. His tanned face was one big smile as he has his two small children and kissed his wife. Afterwards, the man walked his boss to his car to say thank you. Now, on the way out of the house, the boss' curiosity got the best of him. So he asked the man about the tree on the front porch. He said, I noticed when you came up on the porch, before going into your house, you stopped and touched the tree. Why? Oh, that's my trouble tree, he replied. I know I can't stop from having troubles on the job, but one thing is for sure, my troubles don't belong in the house with my wife and children. So I just hang them up on the tree every night when I come home. Then in the morning, I pick them up again. Funny thing, he smiled. When I come out in the morning to pick them up, they're not there. They're never there. They're gone. This story really tells you what the employees of the JCC are all about. They leave the problems and trouble aside and make a difference in the life of each and one of our members here at the JCC. JCC staff, please stand up and be recognized. While these have been some challenging times, our staff has risen to the occasion, providing the excellent program and services that the JCC has a reputation of delivering. Despite the pandemic, we have close to 200 students at the Sari Isdainer Early Childhood Center and continue to provide the best educational experience for our youngest students. Tracy and her team provided a safe environment while allowing the students to continue to be kids during a very difficult pandemic. From the beginning of the summer of 2020, the JCC camps at Medford creatively approached the difficulties facing them, and I'm proud to say that this past summer, we had the best number in over 5 years, averaging 1,300 campers per week. This is evident in our 2021 Center Service Award recipient, Sarah Seidman and Jared Kaufman, who will be recognized later in the program. Our adult department rose to the challenges and provided our senior members with an array of weekly exercise classes, lifelong learning, and many other activities. It was very emotional to see the seniors coming for dinner at the building at the first time. Our membership department just had the best open house in the last 5 years. We're seeing a shift in membership trends and very, very excited to welcome new families who just moved to the area. The fitness and wellness implemented many positive changes during this past 18 months. Among these are highly requested outdoor programming and space, along with virtual fitness, and we have exciting upgrades coming in the next few weeks. The Parkinson's Connection program has remained vibrant through the entire season of change, and we're seeing many familiar happy faces. We continue to support our JCC with the High campaign that raised close to $400,000 and enjoy having in-person events again while hosting Jim Belushi for the big event and welcoming Allen Iverson for this annual Sports Award dinner coming up in a few weeks. Last Shabbat, we read the Torah portion of Bereshit, Genesis. While it might take us a little bit longer than a week to complete the creation, our future looks bright. We're looking into adding more events and activities, investing in marketing and CRM, better utilizing our rental space, and collaborating with some of the local companies and organizations. We look forward to celebrating with all of you in 2022 with the JCC 25th year of here at the Weinberg Commons, our JCC camps at Medford's 75th anniversary, and the 100th year anniversary of the Jewish Federation of Southern New Jersey. The year-long celebration will kick off in January of 2022. Before I conclude, I'd like to say a special thank you for our management team, Beth, Brian, Mitch, and Amanda. We couldn't accomplish any of this without your continued support and commitment. Thank you. Marcy and the board, I loved your commitment from the moment I start my interview process. We're looking forward to working with all of you as we lead the JCC into the future. Jen Weiss, Harry Platt, the Federation Board and staff, thank you for your continued support of the JCC. We appreciate all of your help as we navigate our way out of this pandemic. Rita, where are you? Rita, thank you for putting this incredible event together tonight. Last but not least, because of some quarantine rules, I would like to thank my wife, Didi, Sarah and Sammy, who brings much joy to our lives every single day. Thank you. At this point, it is my pleasure to invite Marcy Dash Friedman, JCC Board President, to the podium. Thank you.
Good evening. Wait. Good evening. Thank you, Rabbi Krupnik, Oded, Jeff Gottlieb, the other side of my Oreo cookie. I have the honor to present the Sidney Levy Volunteer of the Year Award. This award honors an outstanding communal leader. Sid was a past JCC president who served twice at the old JCC. He exemplified volunteerism and did it with grace and a sense of humor. He was a great inspiration to a generation of JCC board members and is missed by all who knew him. The Sid Levy Volunteer of the Year Award is the highest honor that we bestow on JCC lay leaders. Andy Levin is the president of MHS Lift, Inc., a leading provider of materials handling products and services in the greater Philadelphia area. After spending over 2 decades working at every department of the company, Andy and his brother Brett purchased the business from their father in 2012. Embracing a commitment to excellence, innovation, a dignified work environment, and ethics, Andy has championed an increased role of positive organizational values to build a culture of success. MHS Lift is the recipient of the 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 Crown Summit Award, given to the #1 dealer in the country, and the 2019 and 2020 Best Place to Work in Philadelphia. Andy holds a degree in economics and political science from the University of Delaware. He's been a member of the Katz Jcc Board of Directors since 2013. He currently serves as a vice president and as the chair of the Finance Marketing Committee. He's the co-chair of the Sports Award Dinner. He is also a member of the Philadelphia chapter of YPO and a member of the board of the Camden County Boys and Girls Club. Andy lives in Cherry Hill with his wife Stacy and their daughters. I personally want to thank Andy for this past year of excellence as one of my VPs. His time spent away from his family that he devoted to our JCC budget was immeasurable, and I am totally grateful for that. Andy, please join me at the podium.
Thank you, Marcy. I'd like to thank some special people who are cheering me on tonight. My mom and dad for supporting me and giving me my moral compass and always being there for me. My brother Brett, also my partner, for understanding all the time I spend away from work. Also, pretty much every dollar I've contributed to the JCC has been 50 cents from Brett. So on behalf of the J, thank you for your support. Sam Asbell, and of course Susan, who was here in spirit, for showing me how rewarding it can be to give back to the community. My daughters, who are not here tonight, for understanding when I'm on a loud Zoom call meeting when they're trying to study. Lastly, my wife Stacy. She's been the biggest inspiration for my involvement at the J. Stacy's been a role model, and I've learned so much about life balance and digging deep to find time for so many. Her capacity to love, share, and support so many people in her life amazes me. Stacy has an innate ability to make everyone she's with to feel as though they're the most important person in her life at that time. She embodies the expression, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. The last couple years have not been easy to be on the board of the J. The challenges COVID presented were enormous. However, the leadership Marcy exhibited was inspiring, and the entire board rose to the occasion. But the real heavy lifting was from the staff. Many of the staff members were doing the work of 2-3 people. The resilience of our staff and their ability to come in every day during the pandemic with their heads held high, dealing with the panic of their clients and coworkers, was heroic. Thank you. I also wish to acknowledge how amazing the support has been from Federation. Never in my experience have I seen such cooperation and support between the agencies. With new leadership, we have greater transparency and a spirit of oneness. Next, I want to share why I care so much about this place. The J is the single most important place in Cherry Hill. This building is the glue that keeps our community together. It's the place that forms lifelong friendships in early childhood, a place for youngsters to bond on sports teams and build camp friends. Many of my closest friends to this day, 50 years later, I met at camp. A place for teens to feel like they belong and have a safe place to socialize when high school can be so stressful. A place for young adults to work out and stay fit and meet people. It's a place for those with special needs to come and learn how to cook or play basketball and feel special. It's a place for adults to come for special programming or just hang out and play cards with friends. And a place for seniors to get out of their apartments and live and enjoy the companionship of others. Cherry Hill would not be Cherry Hill, the Cherry Hill we know it, if not for the J. This place must not simply survive, the J needs to thrive. And I'm pleased to be honored and recognized for my small contribution. This place has given me more than I could ever give to it. Thank you.
I'm back. What a year it has been. Who knew? He knew. Who knew when I first said I would take the board presidency on that we would have a world pandemic? But we have all had to take on this challenge and make real difficult decisions. Change has come in many ways this year. We have a new executive director, Oded Kraus, that many of you have met and have been engaged with, and has recognized his totally enthusiastic personality, a let's do this mentality, a new vision optimism. And some are just getting to know Oded. Our journey together has just started, and our ride has been a bit of a roller coaster this year. But I am happy to have him in the front car. Thank you. However, I don't want the roller coaster to get to I want it to get to the flat part, and very soon, because it's been a little crazy. Our facility has been shut down, it's been opened, cleaned like crazy, schedule changed, zigzagging, and all encompassing. Our J has been open to our membership via Zoom, live, indoor, and out. We have been simply remarkable. We have a will not say no as an answer. Many of you do not know the complicated past and utter madness that our staff has had to endure, but the last couple people have sort of told you. But I know, and I am grateful to call all of our staff family, and I want them to know how much we appreciate them. With my unbelievable vice presidents and past presidents at my side, we have faced the real tough challenges and have come together stronger and more resilient. Thanks to the Federation, Jen Weiss, Amy Clayman, and Harry Platt and their board, our JCC has been able to maintain our programming to our community. I am grateful to their commitment to our facility and our mission to serve our community. We have had so many wonderful accomplishments this year. Our big event with Jim Belushi was amazing. It was an evening of laughter and fun outside and under a tent when nobody thought we could laugh. The most amazing summer for our kids at camps, and 1,300 campers. Wow, wow, wow. That's all I can say. We went there on the first day to see all these buses come through. It was so breathtakingly wonderful to watch these children come out smiling with their masks on, but you could see those smiles in their eyes. The Zoom classes to keep our members in shape, our outside tents to keep them coming, our swim and summer fun. We had the Pro-Am at Galloway, which was crazy sold out successful. And we are here, Hineni. This coming year, I am sure will have its challenges, and we will have those oh no moments. But I have faith in our federation, our executive director, and our unbelievable great staff. And I want to mention my incredible board. I would like to recognize the retiring board members. Thank you for your support. We hope we can still count on you to continue taking advantage of our wonderful community center. Those included in this list are Adam Butter, Karen Kaplan, Dr. Jody Kaufman-Cooper, Evan Schwecke, Esquire. At this time, I'd like to welcome our new board members coming on. We have big plans for you. And thank you in advance for your commitment to our family. They are Eric Balin, Samantha Richmond, Lauren Butler Rosner, and Howard Zuckerman. Thank you. As most of you know, I'm somewhat of a cheerleader. So I'd like to tell you what is happening here. Just some of the great opportunities you have to partake with RJ here. I'm sure there'll be some Zoom involved, but I really rather see you here. So this Thursday night, we have Not Your Bubby's Bingo. Drag Queen Bingo it is. It's Not Your Bubby's Bingo. It's Thursday, October 7th, and it's outdoors. Our annual fall festival at the Medford Camps, Sunday, October 24th, outdoors. Our sports award dinner, Tuesday, October 26th. We got to sign up to see Allen Iverson. Federation All Agency Virtual Annual Meeting is October 27th, where our new board members will be installed. And I don't want to forget, one of the highlights of my year is the Arts, Books, and Culture programming. That starts November 4th and it goes through the 14th. However, there are multiple things happening the month of October as well. So I'd love to see you Zoom. I'd love to see you live. I'd love to just see you. Thank you for your continued support and consistent help. It is more meaningful doing this together. Now, I want to talk about my husband, Brian. He wasn't exactly thrilled when I said yes to this presidency. And I think he was a little surprised at how many more meetings and how much more complicated this year was and how it was thrust upon me. Yeah, he was really surprised. But he kept the home front going. He always had dinner waiting for me. He always understood when I said, I'm late, I can't be there, sorry. But Brian, I promise I will learn to say no. I promise. I've been taking no classes. It's not working, but I'm trying. Thank you for your constant nudging for me to do the right thing. And to all of you here and Zooming, I pledge to you another year of doing the right thing. Will you pledge that to me? I hope so. I wish you all a happy, healthy new year. Thank you.
Right.
Good evening. My name is Evan Zwieben, and I am a JCC board member and the current camp chair. And this is Beth Siegel. She's a former Medford camp director and the current chief program officer. Congratulations to all tonight's award recipients. All of them are truly well deserved. The next award winners are Sarah Simon and Jared Kaufman. Beth is going to tell you about their background.
All right, so this is the official scoop on these two. Sarah Seidman grew up in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, spending her teenage years working at the JCC camps at Medford. Imagine that. And for the Katz Jcc's after-school program. Sarah graduated from Rutgers University with a degree in Jewish Studies and from the Wurzweiler School of Social Work at Yeshiva University with her MSW. She spent 6 years as the Director of Teen Services at the Kaplan JCC on the Palisades in Tenafly, before joining the Katz Jcc staff again in 2014. She became the director of the JCC camps at Medford in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic. Sarah's family loves to be part of the JCC as well. All three of her boys have attended preschool at the Sari Isdaner Early Childhood Center. Her twins, Noah and Jonah, are ecstatic to join their big brother, Benny, this summer at JCC camps at Medford. That will be exciting. I can't wait to be in the bus yard for that. And Sarah and her husband, David, live with their sons in Cherry Hill. Jared also grew up in Cherry Hill, where the JCC was a big part of his life. He grew up attending many JCC programs, including time as a camper at the JCC camps at Medford. Shocking. The JCC was where he received his first job, working as a lifeguard and swim instructor when he was only in 10th grade. He is a graduate of the University of Connecticut and most recently completed his master's in camp administration and leadership from Gratz College. Jared is an active community member, having spent the past 5 years overseeing the high school program at Temple Beth Shalom, where he's had the privilege in engaging Jewish teens in South Jersey, including many times as the chaperone on the 10th grade confirmation trip to Israel. Lucky. Jared currently resides in Marlton, where he enjoys hiking, tennis, and watching Philly sports.
I'm back. As Beth said, the change in camp leadership occurred during the middle of the pandemic when the JCC was closed and staff were working from home. There was a lot of uncertainty as to what the world was going to look like in the summer of 2020 and beyond. To say the past year and a half has been unique would be rather unfair to other unique situations. In so many ways, things have been devastating. With regards to camp, canceling traditional camp at Medford last summer was one of the hardest decisions I've ever been involved with. Even before school started in September 2020, the leadership team set out on a mission to open camp in 2021 unless we were shut down by the governor. Although we knew it would be a difficult task, we knew it had to be done. Although this award is for this past program year, we cannot overlook the fact that in the middle of the pandemic, Sarah and Jared opened a modified version of camp called Summer Fun, incorporating COVID protocols at the highest level of safety and re-envisioned everything from arrivals to lunch distribution to creating a fun and most importantly safe environment. With a limited number of campers allowed, Summer Fun sold out all its weeks, but it didn't end there. Family Camp was created to allow family and friend groups an opportunity to experience camp together, be back at their home away from home, and feel normal in their pods experiencing camp activities in a COVID-safe way. When much of the world was home during the summer 2020, this team was at camp every day, making sure that our campers and families had some sense of normalcy. The lessons learned during the summer 2020 were carried into 2021, making camp an even greater place. The end results were amazing. Total number of campers and camper weeks rose to numbers we have not seen in years, beating most recent pre-pandemic numbers. I'm not going to try that one again. And just like pre-camp, curveball after curveball were thrown their way, and they handled them with grace and composure, leading by example. This all resulted in a much-needed normal summer for our campers, staff, and parents in the community. The end of summer survey responses were overwhelmingly positive and appreciative, and we currently are outpacing signups from 2 years ago. All of these great things are a direct result of Sarah and Jared's leadership. Marcy, you talked about the smiling faces. I was there. I'm thinking, I'm not sure who was happier though. The kids when they got there, the parents when the bus took them away. But if you hang around the JCC long enough, you will hear the phrase, "It takes a village." While that is certainly true, especially at times like these, it also takes great people to lead the villagers. Lucky for us, the JCC campus at Medford have two amazing individuals running the show.
The JCC Center Service Award is the biggest award that we give out to staff each year. And I really feel like a proud parent as I call Jared and Sarah up to receive their award.
We might have to move the mic a couple of times during this, so bear with us. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Mazal tov to all of tonight's honorees. We are incredibly honored and humbled to receive this year's Center Service Award, especially in a year when our entire Katz Jcc team has had to reinvent their departments. Thank you to Odette and Marcy for your constant support. A particular thank you to Evan Zwieben, Deb Frey, and Ellen Lowenberger, our camp chair and vice chairs. We are so grateful for your endless support and dedication to camp. This has been the most challenging and yet also the most exhilarating 18 months of our professional lives. Our story really goes back to Friday, March 13th, 2020. We had just returned from a week at the American Camp Association conference in Atlantic City with 4,000 other camp professionals. Hard to believe. By day, we experienced the conference, and at night, we spent glued to the TV watching the beginning of the pandemic unfold. On Friday morning, our first day back in the office, I was called down to a meeting with Les and Beth and offered the position of camp director. I was then told that the JCC would be closing for 2 weeks due to the pandemic. Not the most auspicious start.
And so begins many months of the unknown, months filled with endless uncertainty, never-ending Zoom calls filled with the Sidemen children making random guest appearances, popping in to say hello or asking their mom to grab them a snack, TV, or a game to play. It was months of Sarah saying, "I'm going to have to call you right back." And it was months filled with questioning what is the right decision in order to keep our campers and staff safe and to create a true JCC Camps at Medford experience. And after many tough discussions, what was our worst case scenario became a reality. And that was the decision not to hold a regular camp season in summer 2020.
Summer 2020 may not have been camp as we know it, but it was exciting to innovate new programs like Summer Fun and Family Camp. Who would have guessed that our favorite moments of summer 2020 would be greeting parents at the pickup and drop-off lines? Jared and I have never been more popular. We loved getting to know our campers and staff on a different level in these small programs. We got to jump into Gaga games, and I learned how bad I am at Gaga, hold dance parties, and even teach campers how to bake challah. These memories will be with us forever.
So now, here we are prepping for summer 2021, and everything we knew changed. From marketing events to food service to bunking to activities, we had to take everything we knew about camp and throw it against the wall. And while daunting, this was an incredibly exciting opportunity. This was a chance to put our mark on camp and provide camp like never before for kids and staff who we knew needed it more than ever. Who would have guessed a summer filled with renting tents for lunch, needing to get freezers to store extra food, deliveries at 5 a.m. and 10 p.m. or anywhere in between, a reinvented Camp Aaron program, watching Beth and Oded rent a U-Haul to deliver hundreds of ice cream bars from 1721 to camp. Oh, and at least 75% of our summer days with a heat index over 90 degrees. The list goes on, but in the end, it was a summer like no other, where we learned together, grew together, and had fun together, all while creating lasting memories.
It is now 6 weeks post-camp, and we are just finally coming down off the incredible high of summer 2021. Those 8 weeks were challenging and exhausting, but incredibly rewarding. Unfortunately, we weren't as popular as we had been in summer 2020. We managed new camper behaviors, social and emotional challenges, and anxiety like we had never seen before, COVID protocols, staffing shortages, and more. And yet, we had a truly phenomenal camp season, largely thanks to an amazing support system of the best team possible.
And when we say best team possible, there are truly no words to describe how amazing this group is. From our counselors to lifeguards to facilities team, kitchen team, sports staff, and so on, it takes a village to make camp possible and to make it a success. But there's one group in particular that deserves an extra shout out, and that's our seasonal leadership team. These individuals dedicate endless hours of their free time to getting camp ready during the off season. We want to thank our director teams of Dina Wolf and Susan Sturts of Camp Hilltop, Lisa Belagamba and Iris Snyder in Camp Shalom, and Larry Helfman and Alexa Zimmerman in Camp Aaron. To Christina Grunlock and Ali Langen for their tireless work with aquatics, Mike Noble for traveling the Northeast with 100 teenagers in our Haverim program, Sarah Vinier and John Imhoff for teaching our LITs, Elisa Noble for running the shining star of our camp program and Open Hearts, Open Doors, Dana Reganata for leading the charge in the health center, Lisa Rosenberg for supporting the mental health of our campers and staff, Sarah Valley for ensuring the smooth transition of our campers, and finally Stacy Clark for ensuring everyone was well fed. This is a group of all-stars that care deeply about camp and why Sarah and I love coming to work each day.
Clearly, we don't do this on our own. Our full-time camp team are the backbone of everything we do at camp and are like family to us. Pam and Shira are amazing and keep us organized, providing fantastic customer service to our families and ensure our behind-the-scenes operations run smoothly. Our facilities team, Ken, Joe, and Tim, are three of the most talented people we know, which shows they show the incredible care they take of our Medford campus. But Beth Siegel has been our cheerleader and sounding board, willing to jump in and help us with anything and everything we need. Whether it was schlepping bags of bagels across camp, scooping the macaroni and cheese for Camp Aaron, or decorating tents for our leadership team, you did it all with love and support. Thank you. Last, but certainly not least, I have to thank the person standing next to me, our incredible assistant camp director, Jared Kaufman. Jared, you have shined over the last 18 months. Your passion and commitment to Jewish camping are second to none, and it is a joy to work beside you and to watch you grow. Jared and I definitely have our strengths at camp. Jared is our logistics-loving, facility-focused mind, and I'm the social worker. Jared has an expertise in aquatics, and I write our Judaic curriculum. Jared feeds the alpacas and cleans their pen. I water the garden. Thank you for being the best partner I could ask for.
You know, you can come feed and clean up the alpacas once in a while, you know.
Never gonna happen.
Maybe next year I'll take the garden, you can have the animals.
Okay.
But nonetheless, Sarah, it is truly a pleasure to work with you each and every day. In the less than 2 years we have worked this closely with one another, you have continued to be a true role model for me and a great example of an exemplary Jewish professional. You're talented in so many ways. You were faced with one of the most challenging summers on record, and to have that be your first full summer as a director, I think you did, and I think we all know you did a phenomenal job. You handled each situation with grace and care, and there were many, and never backed down from the tough times. Congratulations to you on this past year and look forward to many great summers ahead.
Lastly, we want to take this moment to invite you all to join us at camp next summer. We love having our community leadership join us in greeting campers in the bus yard or singing at Shabbat. There's nothing like seeing camp in action, watching bunks cheer as they walk in between activities, and seeing our children grow in confidence each day. We can't wait to welcome all of you to our summer home. Thank you again for this beautiful honor.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff Resnick, and I am privileged to be up here to introduce Vivian Barnett as this year's Alan Klein Next Generation New Leader Award recipient. I want to really congratulate each of our honorees. I know firsthand how integral each of you played really in weathering us through these last 18 months. You've all been dynamite in the areas where you were focusing. And, you know, on behalf of myself and the rest of the board, I want to thank you. And Vivian is right in with that group. The Alan Klein Next Generation New Leader Award is given to a board member who served for less than 6 years and who has made a extraordinary contribution. And in Vivian's short time on the board, only 4 years, she has been on committees, she has chaired membership, she's been involved in governance, she's chaired the board annual retreat, she's a vice president, and she was a key member of our search for our new executive director, Oded Kraus. In meetings, Vivian is smart, prepared, thoughtful. I could go on and on with adjectives. I can just tell you as a past president, my job was made so much easier because I had Vivian's counsel upon which I could rely. Vivian brings to our board an MBA and a master's in social work, which are two disciplines that are needed for an organization in the nonprofit Jewish communal world. Vivian is involved not just with us. She's involved and has been involved in other Jewish organizations throughout the community, which gives her the experience that we really have come to rely upon. If you were to go into a lab and create the ideal board member, that would be Vivian Barnett. You know, on another note, I had noticed Vivian's kids a little earlier. Her kids and my kids, they don't overlap directly, but sort of in a Venn diagram-y way. You know, you watch kids, I'm sure it's happened to all of us, you watch kids that are on the middle school basketball team or wherever they are, and you come to get a sense of who they are. And she's raised really good, down-to-earth, Menchie kids, and I'm sure for that she's most proud, and it just exemplifies the kind of person she is. So please join me in welcoming this year's Alan Klein Next Generation New Leader Award to Vivian Barnett.
Wow, I could just stop, microphone drop, and walk off. Thank you, Jeff, for those really kind words. Congratulations to Andy, to Sarah, Jared, Samantha on your well-deserved honors. And thank you as well to the committee who selected me for this honor. I truly am humbled. This award is special to me in a number of ways, but most importantly, because I had the occasion to know Alan Klein. The truth is, while I am relatively new to volunteering at the JCC, I've been involved with the greater Jewish community for quite some time, which gave me the chance to know Alan. Alan was a fixture at this campus. No matter if he was attending a meeting, spending time in the fitness center, or arriving with a donation to make, and he did that quite often. It was usually a tattered white envelope just bursting with cash. It was really clear to me that Alan loved this community. He was kind, quick with a smile, and he always made sure to find a minute to stop and talk to me whenever I saw him. Alan was an amazing and dedicated leader who positively impacted many in this community, and receiving this award in his name is truly an honor. Most involved at the JCC know that behind every lay leader is a great staff person or a group of staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes to make us look good. In my role as vice president with membership in my portfolio for the last year, that great staff person is Amanda Hallowell. Amanda, thank you. Thank you, Amanda, to you and your Get Services leadership team, including Barb and Jess, for all you do and for making me look good. I also want to thank my husband, Andrew, not only for your partnership, but also for giving me the space and the time throughout the years to pursue leadership roles in the Jewish community. I'm really fortunate to have had parents and grandparents and family that set the example for me of the importance of involvement in one's community. So finally, to my children here tonight, Sarah, Jonah, and Eli, the real next generation, thank you for understanding all those nights through the years when I wasn't home because I was at one volunteer meeting or another. And I only hope that the example that your dad and I set will inspire you to give back to your community in the years to come. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mitchell Medoff, and I'm the CFO of the Katz Jcc. It is my pleasure to introduce Samantha Conte as a 2021 Emerging Professional Recipient. Samantha was born and raised in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. She is the youngest of 5 in her family by 12 minutes. Her twin brother, goes by the nickname of Sam, and she told me today her dad goes by the name of Sam, so it must have been a little confusing in their house when someone yelled for Sam. But we're glad all the Sams are here tonight. She also has 20 first cousins. Samantha attended Rowan University, receiving a degree in accounting. She went on to complete a master's degree from Towson University in business administration. When Samantha is not at the JCC or Pete's Pizza, she's hanging out with her 4 nieces and 3 nephews or wine tasting along the New Jersey Wine Trail. Samantha has been at the JCC for 5 years, working in the finance department, and now serves as accounting manager, working with 4 great staff members, Tammy, Doreen, Louise, and Debbie. Samantha has a real talent for computer programs and database management. She was the lead staff for the implementation of our membership software, Daxco, and our fitness program, Mind and Body. She is also always eager to help in with whatever needs to be at the center and works with almost every department. And she is a go-to person if someone has a computer problem. So congratulations to Samantha. Please join me.
Thank you. Let's see. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and congratulations to the other award winners. I am truly honored and humbled to receive this award. I am really not good at public speaking, so I will not make this long. When I was 9, I was sitting on the porch with my grandfather at his beach house. He asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. At 9 years old, I was just concerned with jumping the waves of the beach, so I said I didn't know. He turned to me and said, "You should be an accountant. There's always going to be a need for accountants." And well, here I am today, the accounting manager at the Katz Jcc. So special thanks to my grandfather for the best advice I could ask for, or in this case, not ask for. When I interviewed at the JCC, Mitch told me several times, this isn't your traditional accounting job. You won't be sitting at your desk all day, every day. You'll be part of the bigger picture, helping out at in all the departments, at events and programs, and becoming part of the family at the JCC. And I knew at that time I wanted this place to become my second home. In the past almost 5 years, I've had the honor of working alongside some great leaders and coworkers, some who have since moved on to their next chapter, and some who still guide me here today. I've had the privilege to be the lead on the conversion of our 2 major softwares, Daxco and Mind Body, allowing the center to become not only more user-friendly, but more efficient. These conversions were no small project, but we had a fierce team who put in many hours, lots of coffee, and a little bit of delirium. I'm excited to continue to lead the JCC in software and development and improvements. I would not have made it here today without my team. They're my girls, my rocks, my other moms. They deserve as much honor as I do. They have dealt with the frequent projects, last-minute scrambles, new processes, and continual changes without a complaint or objection. They have not only been my crutches in work, but also through the roller coaster of my personal life. So thank you so much to my ladies. I love you. Mitch, thank you for selecting me for this position and guiding me over the past 5 years. You were always my cheerleader, and I'm so grateful to have you by my side. Finally, to my mentor, my confidant, my friend, my fellow Harry Potter nerd, and in my opinion, the glue of the JCC, Amanda.
Thank you for every tiny little thing over the past almost 5 years and all the years to come. I really appreciate you. And of course, thank you to my parents and siblings for believing in me, being proud of me, and being there for me always. As the baby, I know I'm spoiled with the most love. Thank you.
Just want to let you all know that dessert is served in the back, my left, your right corner. It's very good. It's all kosher.
It's hard to follow a PSA about dessert, I got to tell you. Good evening. My name is Brian Adler. It's my pleasure to recognize some of our staff for their anniversaries. Any year that you're working here at the JCC is a true milestone, and tonight is no exception. For 5 years, Joe Hayes at the JCC camps at Medford. For 15 years, Karen Cohen at the Early Childhood Center. Also for 15 years, Merle Edelman, who is here tonight. Merle, you can stand. Last but not least, for 15 years, Sharon Siegel from our Adult and Inclusion Department. And for 20 years, Twyla Williams from our Early Childhood Department. At the JCC camps at Medford, also for 20 years, Ken Ziegler. Stand up, Kenny. Kenny, you can stand. There he is. Also for 20 years in the Adult and Inclusion Department, Robin Lazaro. Okay, it says 20. Okay. And for our last anniversary, I'd like to ask Marcy to come back up, please. And there's a special young lady in the audience we're going to ask to join us as well.
Sharon Gans, I'd like you to come up. Sharon has been a teacher with us, early childhood, for 35 years. And I wanted to give this special gift to her because her parents and my parents, Lador of Lador, were friends at Beth Jacobs Synagogue. And our parents served on the sisterhood committees together, the men's club together. And I just thought it would be a very nice touch to know that they're watching and they see that it's another generation. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow morning.
Okay, that's it. I'm done.
So the program is over, and I want you to enjoy I heard Jeff Gottlieb said that the dessert is good. So it's kosher, have fun. Thank you all for coming. Mazel tov to all of the award winners. And I want you all to know how much we appreciate you. So thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Great job.